video earlier. Didn't work out to make it earlier because this subject is just like upsetting for me. So I had to work through that. Then I can make this video. So called a friend today just to make sure that she was cool because in my local area we had a storm, lost power. Want to make sure she was like cool, all that good stuff. She's also a therapist in the local area, so just had to just wanted to see like, hey, you know how you doing type of thing. But while we were chatting, she brought up a topic we had talked about before, which happens to be paperwork. Paperwork's like a stack of paperwork that I had found when I was a kid in my dad's closet. Now, little backstory. My parents got divorced when I was about 6. Just had left kindergarten, stuff like that. I lived with my mom, but on the weekends, like every other weekend, give or take, I would go over to my dad's house, who is Reynaldo Nava, and he would leave me there alone. It was about like early 2000s, and he would just peace out to somewhere. Don't know where that was. He'd be gone for a few hours. His apartment didn't have a home phone. He had a cell phone, but would take it with him. I was a kid, so I didn't think about like calling the cops or doing anything about it. What I did do was I went through his stuff. Went into his closet, went through his medicine cabinet, did all the devious things a kid would do if you left them home alone for a few hours by themselves at like a young age. And I found some really weird stuff in his closet. But that paperwork had always like bugged me because it was a thick stack of paperwork that was buried deep in his closet that I don't know, that like he had a filing cabinet, figured that like you'd put it in the filing cabinet, but like why was it like buried so deep back in your closet? What was it about? All that stuff. It had different names on it, so I was always like weirded out by it. Short story is, so I told my friend / therapist, just because I thought maybe she would like have an idea or give me some like ideas of being like, oh, it's a blah blah blah, or it's a blah blah blah. But she said like, with the different names, how like the stack of it, like with what you've described to me, it really sounds like the medical paperwork, people's medical files, that type of stuff. I was like, ooh, not what I wanted to hear today, but cool. So, finished our conversation, I hung up, did some like work, some like, got that feeling out, and then proceeded to make this video. So the part about it that makes me upset is one, like, if that is medical records, that's a HIPAA violation, which then points to that Reynaldo, who's my biological dad, just in case anyone wasn't following, has been making HIPAA violations for a long time then. And because the next one that I could think of, that I know of, at least, was the one that he made to his mother. Now, backstory for that, his mom was sick with cancer in 2008 when I was about 13. Her oncologist said giving her treatments is mean. This is not working. She's broken bones. There's cancer everywhere. This is not working. Reynaldo did not listen and proceeded to change her records so she could get more treatments of chemotherapy and possibly radiation. I don't know that part very well. But short story is, that happened and no consequences came of it. So that's a HIPAA violation. And then, so the time passed, and I don't know if he's done anything else because I haven't been to his house in years. He has moved away from that apartment. He moved into a 5-bedroom house in a gated community, but he lives by himself. He does not have a family from what I know. I'm his only child. Not child, but I'm his next of kin, I guess you would say, or whatever. I don't think he ever got remarried. Don't think he had any other kids. So why would you buy a large house? Why would you buy a 5-bedroom house for a single man in a gated community? I just find that very suspicious. And then on top of that, I also find it very suspicious that, like, it also made me think of today that I had Kaiser, which this also, like, makes me, like, angry about it too. I had Kaiser insurance for forever. Like, that was just something that happened. You know, it was whatever. Being that, you know, he's a doctor, I got Kaiser insurance because that's the company he worked for. That type of thing. But all that being said, I never used it a lot. Like, I never used it. I actually got rid of it a few years ago. Pretty much had to beg Reynaldo to let me off the plan. Just like, he was like, no, I can't let you off the plan. And he's like, no, I want off the plan. I'm over 18. I make that decision. Really want off this plan. Finally let me go. Whatever. Short story is, when I was a kid, I had a panic attack on a bus. And the elementary school I was going to said, yeah, that's not normal. Most kindergartners don't have panic attacks on a bus. Fun fact, on that school field trip, there was a nurse on the bus. Weird, but yeah. So she said, probably a good idea to take your kid to counseling and figure out what's going on, because, like, most kindergartners don't, like, have a panic attack when a bus goes over 50 miles per hour on a freeway. And I did. I was ready to climb out a window. So yeah, fun for me. But Reynaldo never went to those counseling meetings. But yet, he knew exactly what was going on. He didn't bug me. Like, there was just, like, so much stuff he knew that was going on. And yes, to the people who ask, well, could your mom have told him about them? She could have. But he didn't really care all that much what was going on. Like, he wasn't, like, one to, like, come to school functions or want to know about grades or anything like that. Like, he never asked about that type of stuff. If you asked me about anything, it was totally different topics than anything that pertained to me. So, I also think he was looking at my records, which, one, freaks me out, because, like, oh my god, could you, like, I don't even want to think about what would have happened if I used that insurance for something, like, personal. Like, before I got rid of it, I almost, like, was going to go see a lady doctor and use it for that, because it was really, like, it was actually a very good insurance package. And, like, ooh, like, that just freaks me out now. Like, that part doesn't make me angry. That part just, like, freaks me out. Like, ugh. Like, seeing, like, ugh. Ugh. Because, like, one, like, yeah, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not close with Reynaldo. Two, like, I don't need him knowing, like, what's going on down there. Like, no boy, no, don't need that. So, short story is, that part's weird, but also just, like, makes me mad, because, like, he could be accessing other people's, like, stuff. So, the PSA part of this is, know your, like, know your, like, your doctors, know your stuff. Two, you're part of the Kaiser network. Just, like, know your medical records, know your doctors, know what's going on with your body, like, all that good stuff. I'm not trying to say don't go, but, like, yeah, yeah. And if anyone, like, goes to Kaiser at Ballin Park, please, like, just keep an eye out. Like, yeah. And, if anyone else has, you know, I don't know, just keep an eye out, keep yourself safe, all that good stuff. If there's any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, and I can answer them as best as I can. Okay, thanks.